And there's certainly some background information that we need to see. We need to see agency audits so that we can make sure that the agency is fiscally responsible, basically, so we can assure our donors that they're making a sound investment. We also have to verify that they are an IRS-determined nonprofit organization, a charitable nonprofit. So we do some of those things, and then there's the actual application process that you do online. It takes a while. There's no doubt about it, but we pride ourselves on being available to provide technical assistance to individuals who are trying to submit an application, so we're a phone call away at any given time to provide that assistance. We open the process up generally in October, and we provide nonprofits about 3 months, sometime around the end of December, that the proposals are actually due. And then till we go through our review process, the funding generally will start up in April of the next year. So it takes a while until you actually hear after you submit, especially if you submit in October. But it's a good process. It's also an extremely competitive process.
I can imagine. I was going to ask you about that.
Absolutely. This past year we had, I want to say, around 40 or 50 applications, and they totaled far in excess of $1 million. And then you're challenged with trying to make a decision as what you can do with 200,000.
Right.
And most of the time, interesting, we'll have nonprofits who will call, who have been turned down for funding, and they'll ask us, well, you know, what did I do wrong? How can I strengthen my application? And truly, it's not that it was a bad application, it was just so competitive. And the volunteers really made the best call they could around all of the different facets, financial, programmatic, other sustainability for a program, and so forth. So.
Yeah. But once again, that is staffed by volunteers.
Absolutely.
And even the focus care councils, volunteers?
Everything that we do is volunteer driven and volunteer approved. And you know, staff is there basically to do the grunt work, as well as to mobilize and coordinate processes. We provide information to our volunteers, but at every single level, the volunteers are the ones who are making the recommendations, and ultimately through our nonprofit board of directors, who are also volunteers, that's where the decision making lies. So staff really is just there to make sure everyone has the information they need to make an informed decision.
You know, one of the things I was talking to one gentleman, he was saying, well, you know, I'd applied and this and that, and he's saying I said, well, get involved. I said, it's not just a matter of just applying for something. You ought to be a volunteer, get involved with the process, know what's going on, and help to influence, you know.
Absolutely.
And people don't often think of that. So people watching this program can contact United Way and say, hey, I'm interested in possibly volunteering.
And we would love to have them.
Fantastic.
We would love to have them.
How do they contact you, Susan?
They can contact me at our office, and my number is 732-0700, and I'm in extension 4054. I can also be contacted by email at, and here we go, Coolidge, which would be SWOKULICH, the little @ sign, UWCR.org. And we'll be happy to get the applications out and everything and get you online for recruitment and fall.
I'll say it again. I'm a colleague of Susan's. I do community impact, and we're in the same office under the great Tim Whalen, who's our supervisor, does a lot of good work. And I'm glad I'm doing my job and not yours, Susan. You have a lot of pieces there, and you do a great job over there for us.
Thank you.
And especially all the people that you have to interface with and coordinate. Put up with. It's good stuff, though. Real good stuff.
Thank you.
And that mental health piece is so important. I'm so glad that you're hitting that up.
It is.
And then you said there's 4. You have 4 workshops. And are there any more coming up?
We have 2 more. That one will be in September. We don't have dates for them yet. One will be in September, and one will be in November. And the concentration of them has been around really achieving wellness with mental health, and recognizing that wellness looks different for everybody. What I think of as my wellness would be different from yours, Pat, or yours, Nate. And it's a journey for everyone. So we're trying to encourage them to take this journey. to find out what supports they need to help them as they move through the process, and to recognize when maybe they're not feeling so well,
Right.
and what they can do about heading that off, and also not giving up their dreams or thinking that because they're faced with a mental illness challenge that they can't go to college, they can't be successful. There are a lot of really successful people out there who have suffered from mental illness. And if you go online on the internet, it's amazing when you see the list of people who have been grappling with this, that you see in everyday celebrity life
Absolutely.
or have been wonderful classic writers and so forth. So it's an interesting thing, I think, to go through.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a journey, and we're really looking around wellness. And I think in November, what we've been talking about is the ultimate one is about recognizing and being thankful for your wellness, and tie that in a little before Thanksgiving. So we thought that might be a good idea too.
Sounds good. Yeah, that sounds very timely. I know that you, as we taped this program, just had a successful one.
We did.
At your best, and you had a nice turnout, I understand. Tell us
We
a bit about
did.
that. Yeah.
Interesting, the first one we had was around 55. And with workshops like this, what we've done is we open them up to the community, and they are at no charge. And we serve a light dinner and everything. We say no charge because we don't want there to be an impediment to anyone attending one of these who wants to. First one was around 55, and this one last night we had booked at 96, and we had those 96 and another 12 who hadn't signed,
Oh,
who
goodness.
came in. So we were over at Central Penn Conference Center. They were wonderful to us too, by the way, and we packed the place. There wasn't a seat available. So it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. And we had, again, we had Dr. Taylor, who talked about depression. Then we had a panel, a discussion panel with youth and a parent, as well as a service provider, who talked about what wellness looks like to them and so forth, and what challenges they face. And then we actually ended with Ruth Hope Woodland from Mental Health Association. And she talked about putting together your own wellness toolbox with ideas for supports and that type of thing. So it was a good evening. It was a really good evening.
Sounds great, man. Oh, man. Well, and the good news is that people can now know about the information,
That's right.
Absolutely.
get involved. They can come to the workshops, the next one you have, and they can always go on the United Way website. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's all posted there.
Generally.
And generally.
Or give me a call.
Give you a call. That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
732.
0700
All right. And extension 40.
54.
4054, Susan Wukulich. I said it
Wukulich,
right.
yeah.
I said it right. And Susan, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
and
you.
doing this.
Thank you for
and
having
again, you know, folks, we're looking for volunteers, people that will serve on allocation panels, will serve on focused care councils, so many other things that they can serve on. We even have at the United Way a volunteer center.
Absolutely.
You know, headed up by Heidi Newhouse, who's the executive director or director of that. And by the way, I think it's common knowledge we're losing our fearless leader, Joe
We
Capita,
are.
come
We are.
January.
After many years.
Man, oh man. So, you know, but Joe's done a fantastic job. He's been a great leader, and you know, he's gonna be missed.
Absolutely.
But there's a big search on for that. Say, hey, apply for the job, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Not
you
me.
think you had the stuff. Well, we want to thank Susan Wukulich so much for coming on. I want to thank you also for watching this program. Hope that you've enjoyed not only hearing the information, but hopefully the information will be useful to you. Take it out and give it away in the community, because it's all about, you know, strengthening the community. Hey, I'm Nate. This is Pat, and one of the special guests, Susan. We're going to see you next time here on Life Esteem. Goodbye.